In the opening scenes of the film, it is revealed that 300 years have passed since a global conflict, known as the World War, took place. This suggests that a significant war occurred within the last 3 centuries, resulting in widespread devastation worldwide. The film portrays a spaceship carrying individuals from different countries who have been discarding their waste on Earth. One day, a scientist discovers a unique robot among the discarded trash. This robot stands out because it is a hybrid of human and machine components. The scientist transports the robot to his home and flawlessly repairs it, constructing a new body. The next day, the robot, a female, awakens and expresses excitement about her new body. She poses several questions to the scientist, asking about her identity, how she arrived there, and her place of origin. The scientist is unaware of the woman's origin, so he provides no information about it. However, he informs her that her body was damaged when they found her in the trash, but her mind was intact. They have now repaired her body and attached a new human body to her. The scientist then shows her the world, particularly the city they are in, called Sky City, which is the last remaining city after the World War. The female robot becomes thrilled upon seeing the city and asks the scientist what it is and if it is a real world. The doctor explains that it is indeed a real city and that it offers a pleasant life. There is a universal desire to reach a place called Sky City because it is where the upper class resides, while the lower class inhabits our world. The doctor then assigns a name to the robot, proclaiming, "Your name is now Alita." Alita is delighted upon hearing her new name. The robot doctor also informs Alita that all residents in our world work for Sky City, as it houses numerous fields, industries, and factories. Following this, Alita encounters a boy named Hugo, who admires her robotic body for its strength. Alita and Hugo quickly form a strong bond of friendship. However, on the same night, a murder takes place in the city. It is discovered that a notorious criminal in the city targets and kills young girls, subsequently selling their body parts. On that fateful night, Alita witnesses the scientist returning home with blood-stained hands, leading her to suspect that the doctor may be the perpetrator behind the city's murders. The next day, the scientist's ex-wife visits him, revealing that the human body Alita now possesses actually belonged to their deceased daughter. In a selfless act, the doctor donated his daughter's body to Alita. Following this revelation, Hugo invites Alita to participate in a popular city game, where Alita captivates others with her flawless performance, ultimately emerging victorious. Later, Hugo takes Alita to his favorite place, the rooftop of a building, offering a panoramic view of the entire city, including a closer look at Sky City. There is a significant pipeline that catches Alita's attention. Hugo explains that all objects descend from Sky City to Earth through this pipeline. He expresses his strong determination to reach Sky City, emphasizing that he will undoubtedly make it there. Intrigued, Alita inquires about the appearance of Sky City. Hugo discloses that the doctor discovered Alita among the garbage, which originated from Sky City. This implies that Alita comes from Sky City, although she has no recollection or memories of it. She has lost her past and suffers from amnesia. The following day, as the doctor leaves the house, Alita follows him closely. In doing so, Alita realizes that the doctor is not a murderer, but a hunter-warrior. Hunter-warriors are responsible for apprehending criminals, and the bodies of these criminals are subsequently taken to the factory in exchange for a generous reward. This revelation sheds light on the doctor's true identity for Alita. Meanwhile, the serial killer, who had been targeting girls within the city, approaches them. Displaying bravery, Alita confronts the killer, delivering a substantial blow that forces him to flee. Alita successfully eliminates another killer. Subsequently, the doctor and Alita transport the killer's head to the factory, where they receive a $20 reward. Afterwards, the doctor opens up to Alita and shares his personal story of becoming a hunter-warrior and the events that led to it. He recounts a time when he lived with his wife and daughter. One day, they created a robot that ended up kidnapping their daughter. In response to this incident, the doctor became consumed by anger and damaged the robot he had created. Subsequently, the Doctor assumed the role of a hunter-warrior immediately after that incident. A man named Vector enters the scene, and it is revealed that he is the mastermind behind the race game. He orchestrates this game, and the Doctor's wife is seen in his company. It becomes apparent that the Doctor's wife is scheming alongside Vector because he promised to send her to Sky City. She is also a doctor herself and works for Vector. The same robot that was damaged by Alita appears and approaches Vector, blaming Alita for its distorted body. Vector mocks the robot, belittling it for being defeated by a little girl. The robot insists that Alita is not just a little girl, but incredibly strong. Vector then assigns the robot the mission of capturing Alita and bringing her before him after inflicting damage. Meanwhile, Hugo takes Alita to witness the race game and reveals that the winner of this game is granted entry to Sky City. Excited by this information, Alita accompanies Hugo to a ship, which he explains is an ancient vessel from 300 years ago, belonging to their enemies. The sight of the ship captivates Alita, prompting her to jump into the water and explore it. Within the ship, Alita discovers a highly advanced technological body. Returning to the Doctor, she requests him to attach her head to this new body, but the Doctor refuses. He warns her that the new body possesses immense power and formidable weapons, making her a grave threat capable of harming people and causing widespread destruction. Alita becomes increasingly aggressive in response to the Doctor's refusal. Determined, she heads to the factory and decides to take on the role of a hunter-warrior herself. Accompanied by Hugo, she visits a club where all the city's hunters gather. She stirs up the crowd, urging them to eliminate Vector's robot, which is responsible for the citywide killings. One of the hunters ridicules Alita due to her small stature, questioning how she can possibly kill anyone or become a hunter-warrior. In response, Alita confronts him with enough force to knock him down, leaving all the hunters shocked. Meanwhile, Vector's upgraded robot, now larger in size due to the Doctor's wife's modifications, appears at the scene and attacks Alita. In a fierce exchange, Alita fights back, and the robot retreats into a tunnel to save itself. Alita pursues the robot into the underground location, engaging in a tough battle. Ultimately, the robot overpowers Alita and dismembers her body. At that moment, Hugo and the Doctor arrive and confront the robot, managing to subdue and incinerate it. The robot escapes to save its own life. The Doctor brings Alita's severely damaged body back home, and with no other options, attaches the body he discovered from the ship to Alita. The following morning, as Alita awakens, it experiences the sense of comfort and satisfaction due to its new and powerful body, capable of producing fire. Delighted with its upgraded form, Alita meets Hugo later that day to show off its robotic body. Hugo is impressed and pleased with the equipped body, expressing his desire to reach Sky City soon. However, he reveals that individuals need scores to gain entry into Sky City, which can be acquired by killing someone or winning the race game. In response, Alita offers its robotic heart to Hugo, suggesting that he sell it to earn the necessary scores and fulfill his dream of reaching Sky City. The robotic heart of Alita possesses remarkable power, capable of providing electricity to the city for several months due to its energetic rays. Despite this, Hugo refuses to accept the offer, insisting that Alita should keep the robotic heart safe as it is vital. Instead, he encourages Alita to participate in the race game, assuring her that she has a high chance of winning and that they will both move to Sky City if she emerges victorious. Eager to help Hugo and driven by her affection for him, Alita promptly agrees to take part in the game. However, Vector arrives on the scene and hires hunters and killers with the intention of eliminating Alita. He announces to everyone that if they manage to kill Alita during the race, there will be rewards. Then I will reward you with 5 million scores, which are essential for entry to Sky City. Subsequently, the hunter whom Alita had defeated at the club appears, seeking revenge for his humiliation. His target for revenge shifts to Hugo, and he kills an innocent man, falsely accusing Hugo. Consequently, Hugo finds himself implicated and begins to descend into a life of crime. Meanwhile, Alita participates in a race that is about to commence, facing off against a group of killers who have become her opponents. They launch assaults on Alita, but she proves to be their match, fighting them off one by one. During the race, Alita receives a call from Hugo informing her that the hunter has become his enemy and is threatening his life. Alita abandons the race to come to Hugo's rescue. Upon arriving, Alita fiercely confronts and defeats the hunter. However, news spreads throughout the city that Hugo has turned into a criminal and is wanted by the police with a reward of $30 for his capture. The city residents unanimously believe that Hugo must be brought to justice. They implore Alita to execute him, but she refuses. Instead, it is the hunter who ends Hugo's life, attacking him with a sword as he takes his final breaths. As Hugo lies lifeless, the doctor's wife arrives at the scene and urges Alita to sever Hugo's head, as they plan to attach it to a robot body and bring him back to life. The doctor's wife has transformed into a compassionate person and wishes to revive Hugo. Thus, Alita complies with her request, proceeding to carry out the necessary procedure. In front of everyone, she dismantles Hugo's head and later brings it to the doctor. Following a surgical procedure, the doctor attaches Hugo's head to another body, successfully reviving him. Both Hugo and Alita are thrilled because Hugo now possesses a robotic body similar to Alita's. The doctor informs Alita that Vector deceives people, promising to send them to Sky City after swindling them out of a large sum of money. However, no humans can reach Sky City by paying money, as only the city's inhabitants are allowed to reside there. The only way to reach Sky City from this world is by winning the race. The doctor also reveals that he and his wife were born in Sky City, but came to this world for their daughter's medical treatment, eventually becoming trapped here. Hearing this, Alita becomes angry and sets out to kill Vector. Alita directly heads to the factory and faces attacks from Vector's machines. However, equipped with a powerful robotic body, Alita systematically defeats each opponent. Destroying all the machines and robots, Alita makes her way to confront Vector. At that moment, Vector's own robot emerges and injures Alita, causing her to fall. It is during this moment of defeat that Alita's lost memories of the past come rushing back as her retained memory resurfaces. She remembers being a warrior who participated in the World War that occurred approximately 300 years ago. Sadly, all of Alita's friends and companions perished in that war, and she herself was discarded in the garbage, severely wounded. In that moment, Alita's memories flood back, leading her to believe that the owner of Sky City is responsible for erasing her memories and ending all her companions. Alita realizes her mission is to seek revenge on the owner of Sky City, and this realization brings forth a mix of sentimentality and aggression. The robot attacks Alita, but she swiftly dismembers it with her sword. Simultaneously, Alita launches an attack on Vector, swiftly defeating him. Upon receiving a call from the doctor, Alita learns that Hugo is attempting to reach Sky City by climbing up the pipes. Determined to stop him, Alita pursues him. She instructs Hugo that they do not need to go to Sky City, as there is nothing worthwhile up there, and they can lead their lives in this world. Hugo agrees upon hearing Alita's words. However, unbeknownst to them, the owner of Sky City observes their conversation from above and attacks them with a weapon. As a result, Hugo's body is dismembered, and Alita desperately grasps his hand. Unfortunately, she accidentally loses her grip, and Hugo falls from a great height. Grief-stricken by the loss of Hugo, Alita weeps and makes a resolute decision. She decides to go to Sky City to confront and seek vengeance on its owner for Hugo's death. The movie concludes with Alita victorious in the race, raising her sword toward Sky City and defiantly declaring her intent to kill and avenge the owner. She boldly challenges the owner to prepare for a grim fate and denies them the right to continue living. The scene marks the completion of the movie.